This is 5 News at 5.
Good evening. Travel problems expected all across many parts of the U.S. for the next few days. Forecasters say blizzard conditions could stretch from New Mexico to Kansas. Some places getting up to 15 inches of snow over the next couple of days. It looks like we will not get any of that snowfall, though. Chief Meteorologist Garrett Lewis joins us now. Garrett, we will see rain out of this mainland.
Oh, absolutely. Big rain event for us. What's going on? Watching an area of low pressure. Looks to be centered right about Amarillo now, spinning counterclockwise. With these low pressure systems, you look for the snow about 100 miles northwest of the low, and that's where we'll find blizzard conditions from New Mexico through Oklahoma and through Kansas, spreading to the northeast. But it is a low pressure that spins counterclockwise, which means not only cold air, but also warm air, warm, moist air, which means lots of rainfall moving into eastern Oklahoma and western Arkansas. The first line of rain across east Oklahoma, another line moving through Dallas-Fort Worth. All of that is headed towards our region. Had a few splash and dash showers early on. You can see those on the Rogers iCam at times, some of those streaks that made their way down to the surface. In the Fort Smith area, looking off to the west at overcast skies, looking at the winds too out of the south. So what's the radar look like now? Well, right now, looking at that line of showers and storms moving east, the entire area will be covered in rain for the overnight tonight and into tomorrow. And sure, you're seeing a little bit of lightning off to the west, but no severe weather is expected. We are expecting to see a few thunderstorms embedded within the rain. So what's going on now? As we keep it local into Benton County, we'll find out we have an isolated shower near Gentry, tracking northeast, Bella Vista, Bentonville, Rogers, starting to see a little bit of spotty rain. It's going to pick up in coverage in the next 2 hours. It'll pick up in Siloam Springs as well. You have some showers just to your west. And then as we move south into Vian and Sallisaw, the rain really picks up west of Vian out towards Gore, Braggs, and Warner. All of that is moving east and getting closer to our region. The bottom line is we're in for a soggy night, but the backside of the system with that counterclockwise low could shake out a flurry or two. We'll talk about it coming up.
All right, thanks, Garrett. One ground turkey production line at Cargill's Springdale plant resumed operations today. With it came jobs for 50 workers originally laid off in October. Operations were suspended after the company voluntarily recalled its ground turkey when salmonella was found in the meat. Another 70 workers affected by the October suspension were moved to other parts of the plant. A Cargill spokesman says the company now has an enhanced food safety plan. We have breaking news out of Fort Smith tonight. Police say a fight between two men ended with one of them being stabbed. Sergeant Daniel Grubb says one man received superficial stab wounds. It happened in the 2500 block of Phoenix in Fort Smith. Officers are still on the scene trying to sort through all the details. We'll bring you more information tonight on your 5 News at 6.
North Koreans are mourning the death of dictator Kim Jong-il, while many people, including some world leaders, are hoping his passing marks a turning point for diplomacy. The 69-year-old dear leader, as supporters called him, died Saturday of a heart attack. Kim was known as a master manipulator with nuclear ambitions. Hundreds of South Koreans celebrated Kim's death. They hope relations will now improve with their biggest enemy. Kim's youngest son is expected to take his father's place as North Korea's leader. It's unclear, though, how effective the 20-something will be at leading the nation.
The majority of analysts are betting that this is going to be fairly smooth, but it's not going to happen overnight, and there could be unexpected events that push things in a different direction.
The North Korean state-run news agency says a funeral for Kim is scheduled for December 28. The death of Kim Jong-il shocked local South Koreans. Many are uncertain what the future holds for their country. Hannah Lee says she didn't know how to react to the news of Kim Jong-il's death. There are different outcomes for North Korea. Even though the costs are high, Lee prefers to see a united Korea.
Most people who agree with reunification, they are worried about the cost of reunification, and especially the young generations of South Korea now, they are really suppressed by low job rates.
Tonight at 6, we'll have more on the conversation the 5 News had with this Korean student.
If you're planning to ship those holiday gifts in time for Christmas, time is running out. The U.S. Postal Service expects to process more than 800 million pieces of cards and letters today, making it the busiest day of the year for letters. Tomorrow is expected to be the busiest day for packages. And you can still mail your holiday cards and packages after Wednesday, but you'll have to pay extra to get them to their destination on time.
Probably about the same, but Christmas falling on Sunday does impact that a little bit. Priority mail is Wednesday. As long as you're here by Wednesday, we should get it there. And express mail's Thursday.
We'll have more with the Fayetteville Postmaster on those last-minute deadlines coming up tonight at 6. This holiday season is better than initially expected for retailers. A research firm says U.S. shoppers spent 15% more during online shopping this year compared to last year, putting the current total at more than $31 billion. Cyber Monday is still the largest online shopping day ever, with sales increasing 22% from last year. The holiday shopping season can make up to 40% of retailers' annual revenue.
Bella Vista police have identified the victim killed in a Thursday night house fire. Police say 61-year-old Sherry Irby died in her townhome on Alice Lane after 4 units caught fire Thursday night. At this time, the fire is believed to be accidental. At its meeting tonight, the Bentonville School Board may delay an upcoming millage election. The proposed millage increase would help fund a proposed 9th grade center, which would be built on the current high school campus. Reports say the board may ask for the millage election to be moved from April to June. If the vote is delayed, the board could use the time to find a compromise between the two proposals. We'll have a full report on tonight's meeting on your 5 News at 10. Lawmakers locked in a standoff over a popular tax break. They have to act before the end of the year to stop average Americans from losing $1,000 from their paychecks next year. CBS's Danielle Nottingham has the latest from Capitol Hill.
The showdown over the payroll tax break is heating up on Capitol Hill. This evening, the House is expected to vote down the 2-month extension the Senate approved over the weekend. House Republicans want a year-long deal. They're calling on senators to return from vacation and renegotiate a plan.
We oppose the Senate bill because doing a 2-month extension instead of a full-year extension causes uncertainty for job creators.
What's at stake is a tax hike for 160 million Americans. The payroll holiday put an extra $1,000 in the average paycheck in 2011. If lawmakers can't work out a compromise, the Social Security tax break and some unemployment benefits will expire on New Year's Day. Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid has already shot down the idea of negotiating a new deal. He says Democrats won't talk long-term until the House passes the Senate's bipartisan plan that extends the cuts through February. The president favors a year-long extension, but the White House is pushing Congress to pass the Senate's short-term compromise now.
We remain hopeful that the House will act, that House Republicans will do the right thing.
As time runs out, there is still another hurdle. The Senate cannot hold a vote during the holiday recess unless all 100 senators approve. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, Washington.
The 2-month extension plan up for debate goes beyond taxes and unemployment benefits. It also avoids cuts in Medicare payments to doctors.
One of the most anticipated Supreme Court cases of 2012 now has a set court date. From March 26th to 28th, the justices will hear arguments about whether the government's sweeping health care reform law is constitutional. 26 states say the federal government is overstepping its authority by requiring nearly all Americans to buy health insurance by 2014 or face financial penalties. The court is expected to rule on the matter by late June. AT&T is ending its bid to acquire T-Mobile for $39 billion. The Justice Department sued AT&T in August to stop the planned merger, saying it would hurt competition and lead to higher prices. The purchase would have made it the largest cell phone company in the United States. Currently, AT&T is the country's 2nd largest wireless carrier, and T-Mobile is the 4th largest.
Benton County authorities still combing through details in a murder-suicide investigation. 19-year-old Dustin Chamberlain was shot and killed in his Siloam Springs home Thursday. Benton County deputies believe 49-year-old Michael Meeks shot and killed the college sophomore. Chamberlain was studying pre-med at Baylor University. He was on Christmas break when he was shot and killed. Authorities have not released a motive in this murder-suicide just yet. Autopsy results are expected sometime this week.
Former President Bill Clinton returned to the natural state today. He signed copies of his new book, Back to Work, at Barnes & Noble in West Little Rock. Clinton calls the 200-page book a guide to the current economic slump, how it was caused, and how to recover. Tonight, President Clinton will present 3 military service awards at the Clinton Center, including a Silver Star Medal and 2 Purple Hearts. The Siloam Springs High School Band held their final day of practice today as they prepare for the 2012 Tournament of Roses Parade. The musicians will leave for California on December 27th, with that parade scheduled for January 2nd. In the 123-year history of the parade, the band is one of 3 bands from Arkansas to even be invited. Walmart is providing a trailer for the school to help them transport instruments and other supplies for the parade.
Residents at a Fort Smith Health and Rehab Center treated to a Christmas lunch today, all courtesy of the Olive Garden. Olive Garden contacted Chapel Ridge Health and Rehab, asked if they could serve a Christmas lunch to the residents. The activities director says this act of kindness is one of many they've been fortunate to receive this year.
We have had such an outpouring this year. I've been here 8 Christmases, and of all the Christmases that I have been here, I have never had such an outpouring from outside folks wanting to help us.
Olive Garden serves spaghetti, lasagna, salad, breadsticks, and dessert to the 82 residents at Chapel Ridge.
A powerful blizzard off to our west brings us widespread heavy rain. We'll talk rainfall totals and the chance of snow locally coming up.
Great news for anyone traveling by car for the Christmas holiday. We'll tell you why gas prices have seen a steady decrease coming up.
And a Swedish automaker files for bankruptcy. We'll tell you why earlier efforts to save the company have failed. That's next in your Business Watch.
You're watching 5 News, the area's most watched local news team, with Darren Bobb, Ashley Ketz, and Chief Meteorologist Garrett Lewis, serving the region for more than 58 years. This is 5 News.